This right here is today's shoe, but this is a shoe from a couple of weeks ago which we talked about, which is the Nike Lebron 18 Dunk Man. And I said in that video they finally hit their stride with the Nike Lebron 18s because, and I do it every single time, and I always use the same picture of the Harlem Fashion Rose because that's my favourite 17. I love that colour. I thought it was a beautiful looking shoe, but I love that shoe in general. The 17s are an absolutely gorgeous shoe, and then when you came to the 18s, very tough act to follow, and it took them a while to work it out. They had a few sort of interesting shoes going on. There were the Nike Lebron 18 Los Angeles by night, and then the by days, and there's a mixed bunch of colours, and it took them, a few colourways, and they finally hit their stride with those Dunk Mans. And then here today we've got the home colours. There's a lot in it. There's some controversy, especially to do with those home colours, but if you park all that, park the name of the shoe and forget about whether or not it is true to the home colours of the Los Angeles Lakers, keep that aside and just actually look at the shoe itself. And it continues that line from the 18 Dunk Mans to these today, the 18 home colours, because they've really kept that stride going. The stride they hit with the Dunk Mans, they've really kept on going on with, and it's a great looking shoe. So I'm really thrilled to bring that to you today, and I'll take you through bit by bit all the amazing hits on this shoe, especially a really big surprise about that snow white upper. I was looking for more than I got, and we'll get into all of that today as we take a close-up look at the upcoming release of the Nike Lebron 18 home colours. This is the Tokyo Butter 23 Sneaker Channel. Tokyo Butter 23 Sneaker Channel です。毎日アップするので、毎日見てください. Every single day from Tokyo, Japan, I bring you content about upcoming sneaker releases, sneaker news, and sneaker reviews. And today in the spotlight, like we said, is the Nike Lebron 18 home colours. It might just be called home in some quarters or home colours in others, but that's not important. What's important is this is a bit of a tribute to the Lakers, and the question is, where's the purple on the shoe? Because purple and gold, as far as I'm concerned, are the two main colours of the home Lebron Lakers jerseys. Now, you guys, I am not in any way an encyclopedia of basketball knowledge. I know a fair bit about it, but not a lot. Like, I don't have a basketball channel on YouTube for a specific reason. Don't know enough about it, but I do know a bit about it. And if I'm getting it wrong, if I say something wrong, if I'm wrong about the colours, for example, that the Lakers play in, which I don't think I am, then definitely hit me up with a comment down below. But do, for sure, I do have a question for you guys out there. Is when I was looking at this shoe and working it out, you know that I do this every single day, and you know that I research every single video before I stand up and talk to you guys. When I was looking at it, they were calling the gold on it, and I'm going to stick with gold, but they were calling it Amarillo, which is another sort of variant of gold or yellow. But I'd love to know from you guys out there whether or not the Lakers playing purple and gold or purple and Amarillo. Maybe it's one of those things. It's the Mandela effect. There's been a ton of videos on YouTube these days, the last few months, about the Mandela effect, when so many people believe a falsehood that actually the falsehood becomes true. It's a bit like the line in Star Wars that everybody thinks Darth Vader said, "Luke, I am your father," but he doesn't actually say that. But so many people believe that he did say that becomes the truth. That's the Mandela effect. And it might be the same with Amarillo and gold. Everybody thinks that gold is the colour in the Lakers home jerseys, but it's actually Amarillo officially. And tell me in the comments down below. I'm going to stick with gold. I'm going to call it gold throughout this shoe, even if it is officially Amarillo. I think most people are comfortable with it being called gold anyway. So that aside, let's get into it and talk about this shoe. We'll be looking for that purple. That's the key here. We're looking for the purple, because if it's called home colours, it probably should have purple on there somewhere. So first things first, we're going to go to my favourite place point, my favourite design point on the 18s, and hopefully we're zooming in on it on the green screen back here, and it's to do with the midsole. There's a line that runs through the midsole, and it's very clean in that it's a straight line, although it's broken in the middle. And what we're talking about, again, hopefully it's visible on the green screen by me here, is on the lateral side. In the case of these guys, you've got that gold stripe that runs sort of horizontally through the forefoot on the midsole, and then there's a little break in the black where the shoe breaks up above from the white front to the black back, and then in the back half of the shoe that line continues, but now it's in white. One of my favorite things to see on LeBron 18s is when those two sort of balance each other out. Now in the case of this shoe, the front bit should be white and the back bit should be black, so that they cross over to match the front being white in the upper, and then the back being black in the upper part to support around the ankle. But usually that's what I like to see. I like to see that crossover, and I'll find a picture and put it up here to show you what I mean about how, you know, that line being different front and back then crosses over to match the upper, back and front. And it doesn't do that in the case of these because it's gold at the front, which should mean a gold support around the ankle at the back, but it isn't gold at the back, it's black. But I still like it. I usually like to see that crossover. We don't see it in the case of these guys, but I still like it because I think that gold hit is super important to the balance of the shoe. Otherwise, you'd be totally like there ain't no Lakers home colors on there at all. And yes, that white bit on the back, just for reference, does still say from the city of Archon, you know, emblazoned into that unit on the white on the back of the heel section there. Now going up from that, since we're close to that little gold flash on the midfoot area, if we go up from that onto the upper, this is that place that I was a bit surprised not to see a little bit more. Now we've got this picture here which really reveals the upper in great detail and gives you a great feel for that snow white. It's a fluffy cloud white or snow white feel around it. It's very, very pure in its whiteness, and what I'm getting at is that I was expecting a second colour below that. Often with LeBron 18s they have a second sort of hit of colour hidden within the upper, and at first glance you look at the shoe and think it's one colour, and then when you get closer into it you see these little sort of second flashes of colour coming through from underneath. And this is where I was expecting to see some purple sort of hidden underneath the white upper and just sort of coming through and sneaking out from below, but I do not see that at all. All I see is, like I see here, that snow white upper on the front half of the shoe, so I'm not seeing any second colour in there at all. Where there is a second colour is on the toe box, where you've got the black swoosh, and we've talked before about this toe box swoosh and the medial side swoosh, whether they match or not. In the case of today's shoe, it's black on the toe box and it's gold on the medial side, and I actually dig that. It's very, very cool, and the gold needs to be there on the medial side because, again, otherwise how could you call these home colours? So you've got that flash of gold on the lateral side running horizontally through the line, and then on the medial side you've got that flash of gold in the heel where you've got the largest swoosh that appears on this shoe. And then coming forward from that, if we have a look at down from above onto the lacing unit, there's three things to focus in on here. One, well, this sounds weird because I just said there's three things to focus in on. One, the first thing to focus in on is the three air units that run up the tongue there. And again, I was expecting to see some purple in here. This is a place they could have snuck a little bit of purple in. And also, the laces themselves could have been speckled in purple and gold, but what they've gone for is just gold and on the black laces themselves. So the speckle is gold and the laces are black themselves. And then back from that, just before we stop at the insole, we'll have a stop at the top of the tongues because I always complain about how rigid the top of the tongues look. And then we get to the insole and have a look down on the inside, and again another hit of gold in there, and this time it's LeBron's number 23 adorning the insole of these guys, which is very, very cool. And then flipping it around and going to the back of these guys and looking at the heel, I at first glance thought that these guys were a black on black heel, where you've got the LeBron branding in black on the black casing that sort of supports the entire heel section. So I was sort of like, yeah, okay, black and black, you know, whatever. But then I saw this thing, there's a great picture, and what you're looking at slightly on the angle here reveals some gold within that branding that you wouldn't normally see when you look at them straight on. You have to look at it at a slight angle to reveal that gold on the inside, and it's a great little feature. Could it have been purple? Again, another place where they could have had that main home colours, you know, feel to the shoe. So, and then flipping them upside down, having a look at the outsole. We've got in the outsole, you've got this very simple white outsole, and it's, you know, all through it is white. You've got the black, you know, that runs right in the middle of it, and then at the very centre you've got that hit of gold and the branding there. So, so gold is the main player in the colours on these shoes, which does make sense because the Lakers play in gold, but there is no purple on there. And I'm like, kind of, you know, I wish there was just that one hit of purple to give us a little hint to the the second colour in the home jerseys, but there isn't. But I think there might be a reason for that, and I'm sure you guys are already ahead of the game on this and have probably commented down below already. But when you go back to those Los Angeles by day and Los Angeles by nights, it's probably going to be that kind of effect with these guys, in that we've already got the home colours here in white with hits of gold, and what we'll get later is an away colours shoe which is more predominantly purple. I wonder if they'll include some gold on that shoe. That's the thing to look out for. If they're not including purple on this home colour shoe, then they shouldn't include gold on that away colours shoe, but I think they will, and that's my kind of gripe, if you like, with these shoes, is that they could have just had a little hit of purple in there somewhere, but that they didn't, as their choice. Is actually predominantly a white shoe, so it's neither purple or gold really, it's mostly just a white shoe. So so that home colours, it's not the Lakers though, there's a Lakers line as well, which is a different sort of feel to it, and that line of shoes that usually comes out from LeBron, usually brings out one of his team's colours, shoes, and it's just Lakers, which is purple and gold together. But in the case of these guys, because it's home, the gold hits are there, but I still would have liked that purple in there, just a little bit somewhere, anywhere, like speckles on the laces would have been enough. So, but keep your eyes out for that. Keep your eyes out for a LeBron 18 away colour, because I'm sure that's going to come, and it'll be a lot more purple on those guys. That's it for me today, guys. Hopefully you guys appreciate this look at this shoe. Like I say, park the name of it. Forget about that. It's just a really nice looking shoe, and it's finally the 18s are hitting their stride and getting somewhere with a bit more. I don't know. There's a bit more to the shoes. The early ones were very simple, and it's just they were kind of jarringly bad compared to the 17s. But these guys are starting to sort of hit their stride, and they're starting to work out where they can play around with the shoe and where the hits are on it. So so hopefully you guys appreciate that. If you didn't, that's okay. I don't mind. It's okay if people have a difference of opinion from me or don't like the way I set things up, as long as we can have that difference of opinion and still be friends. For now though, it's time for me to sign off. Thank you guys for checking out the content, and I'll just tell you what I do at the end of every single video, which is that I do this every single day. And that means you are guaranteed to see me tomorrow.